I play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes get white out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. I am your host, Iceman the Eskimo. And y'all know what I came here to talk about. The Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? The Brooklyn Nets and the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I mean? More news and more news. I ain't trying to bore y'all today. You know what I mean? It's going to sound repetitive. I know. Training camp is almost here. And that's why I pulled up. 2.5 weeks till training camp, really. You know what I'm saying? And we still got 23, 24 guys on the roster. Still got some things to figure out. Seems to be one more pickup. You know what I'm saying, that the Nets might have. They was just talking about it, just seeing it on Twitter saying Jet Howard might be another pickup for the Nets. You know what I'm saying? So Jet Howard being another pickup, bro. I don't know what is going on with the Nets or how many players they trying to keep, who they trying to keep, and why they trying to keep them. You know what I'm saying? But we want to see. You know what I'm saying? 23, 24 players on the roster. And it's tough. So I'm going to wait till if the other guys pull up, I'm going to wait to talk about that. And here goes another one. Questions about Trae Young long-term marriage with the Atlanta Hawks. And I seen that someone was saying something about Trae Young to Brooklyn. His name keep popping up from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? I don't know if we want Trae Young in Brooklyn at this time, bro. You know what I mean? Do we want Trae Young in Brooklyn at this time? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They question. I don't know if Trae Young gonna be there next year. You know what I mean? Cam might not be here. Atlanta trade Cam. Trade Trae Young for Cam and some other pieces. Is that possible? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't even know if the Brooklyn Nets would do that. I don't know if they want Trae Young over here. You know what I'm saying? They did pick up a lot of tall guards and tall players in the draft. But having Trae Young on this side, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Not sure. But my focus today a little bit until the other guys pull up, if they pull up, you know what I mean, is Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton been under fire. You know what I'm saying? Nick Claxton been under fire for right now. And I went to go look some stuff up about Nick Claxton scoring because I know we talked about it before, but Nick Claxton, the fans want to see Nick Claxton score more. And I don't necessarily think Nick Claxton needs to score more, but the fans want to see Nick Claxton score more. So I looked up the stats. You know what I'm saying? As far as being in the East, a center in the East, I don't have to count. You know how many centers is in front of him for scoring, but you know what I'm saying? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 centers in the East scores higher than Nick Claxton, right? 13 centers in the East. I think I got it on the East only. Let me make sure. Yeah, in the East. So it's Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Porzingis, Vucevic, Bam, Miles Turner, Mark Williams, Jakob Porto from Toronto, Jared Allen, Brook Lopez, Mo Wagner, Jalen Dorn, Valanciunas, and then Nick Claxton. But here, you know what I'm saying? Nick Claxton averaged 26 minutes, 10.3 points, right? And 7.4 rebounds, which is not bad. His rebounds is not bad. His rebounds are not bad. He averaged more rebounds than Mo Wagner, Brooke Lopez, and let me see who else. Miles Turner. So his rebounds and Porzingis. And you know what I'm saying? So he got 4. He's ranked 13th, but his rebounding, he's better than 4 players rebounding, right? But I'm gonna tell you the points that separate Nick Claxton from being higher as one of the so all right, Karl Anthony Towns averaged 24 points and beat averaged 23. Porzingis averaged 19. But when it comes to the other players like Bam, the numbers start to drop down. Bam and Vucevic averaged 18. Miles Turner averaged 15. Mark Williams averaged 15. Jakob Poeltl averaged 14. Jarrett Allen 13. And this is where it gets, you know what I'm saying? Can he take a jump from 10.3 to about 14 points? And that would put him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will put him about 8th in the East as far as scoring as a center. Put him 8th in the East. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, I seen that thing I asked last time about Yegor unlocking Claxton, but I watched a lot of highlights. I seen a lot of guys throwing lobs. You know what I'm saying? I know Yegor could throw the lob. I know Traore could throw the lob. I know Terrence Mann could throw the lob. Cam Thomas could throw the lob. Tyrese Martin can throw the lob. There are guys that throw the lob on this team. I watched a lot of clips, and I didn't think he got a lot of lobs. But last year, Claxton didn't get a lot of lobs, bro. His highlights is full of lobs. You know what I'm saying? Putbacks and lobs. So the question that I'm asking, and y'all can comment or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can comment and let me know is, do y'all think, I'm not saying he's gonna be a vocal point, but do you think he will be do you think we start to see him pass more, play make more? Do we get to see him with the ball in his hands more? Now that we have a team with they trying to build a team that passes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like in the FIBA basketball, the centers, there's a lot of post game, a lot of centers get the touches, you know what I mean? Your scorers score, more of a team game, but you know, the center matters a lot in FIBA. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of mismatch. If he could score, he could score. So do you think that y'all think Claxton will have a chance this time to have the ball in his hands more, to facilitate and to score? You know what I'm saying? He does have a little a strength as far as being quicker than other guards. My boy Joey BK Notorious pointed it out last time that he is a little quicker and he should be taking advantage of certain centers as he did. If you watch his highlights, at certain times he did last year take advantage of certain centers and get downhill and get a dunk or a layup or in transition. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to know, because it ain't that one. It's not that many points separating him from being like a top, when I say 7th scoring center in the East. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it for the whole NBA because it don't have the numbers on it. As far, because it put the guards and everybody in there. It won't just do it for centers where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So wait, maybe it does. All NBA just centers. Let me check. Let me see if they got the numbers. Nah, it won't put it in it won't put it has like the guard numbers or whatever. But in the NBA, it says in the NBA though, like, nah, I ain't gonna read that number because it's tripping. But the same thing for Dayron. I got Dayron Sharp, bro. You know what I'm saying? This question about Dayron being a backup. Can he average more points? Will he get more touches as far as facilitating and doing what he does? You know what I'm saying? Rebounding and stuff like that. These are questions. These are questions that gotta be asked. You know what I'm saying? I'll put Dayron. Can I put Dayron right there and put his put Dayron in the background. You know what I mean? Real quick. And as far as Dayron, let me get to Dayron because Dayron's a little bit further down from Nick. He's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots down from Nick. He averaged 8 points, 6.6 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? 18 minutes a game. I don't know if that's good enough for him. Should Dayron Sharp get more minutes? He averaged 18 minutes. Clax averaged 27 minutes. 18 minutes, 27 minutes. Should Dayron get more minutes as a backup center? You know what I'm saying? Is Claxton do you think Claxton days are numbered of being the center on his team? You know what I mean? Because I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if we're gonna keep Drew Timmy, and I don't know what they're gonna do with my boy Danny Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Beware the wolf. Beware of the wolf. You know what I mean? Coming to training camp in 2 weeks. So that was my focus in seeing, like, because fans always get on him, and Nick Claxton scoring isn't too bad. You know what I mean? As far as scoring, like, Khalil Ware is right behind him, 9.3. Nurkic is 9.2. Wendell Carter, 9.1. Al Horford, they got Al Horford as a center, 9 points. Nick Richards, 9 points. So, you know what I mean? The averages are very close. The averages are very close together. So, you know, with all these guards that we have, Terrence Mann said he got more to give. He's got something to prove. You know what I mean? Yegor is new. Best passer in the draft. Traore, a lightning bolt on the court. He can pass. He can throw lobs. Cam Thomas can throw lobs depending on how much time they give him. You know what I mean? There's so much going on with this team right now that we got to see and figure it out, because now that I'm looking at the numbers, Nick Claxton isn't too bad. Backup Dayron Sharp don't seem too bad either, because some of these dudes that they are backups that he's in front of, but it looks like he is one of the top scorers to be a backup. You know what I mean? I think Orlando Robinson is the only other backup that's in front of him, and that's 8.1 points, and that's in the East. You know what I mean? So Dayron, I think Dayron's all right, but can he score a little more? Do we want Dayron to score a little bit more? Claxton shot blocking is good. He's one of the top shot blockers in the East for the most part. Dayron, let me see, Dayron. I think he almost averaged a block a game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he almost averaged a block a game. He might average a block a game. You know what I mean? But training camp is approaching. You know what I mean? So what do we expect from training camp? What do we want to see from training camp? You know what I'm saying? Who do y'all want to? I keep asking this question. I need to see some answers. Who do y'all really want on this team? There's about 24 guys. You know what I mean? 24 guys on this roster. Training camp is approaching. Like I said, now Jet Howard. Let me go back to see if I can find it on Twitter. Right, about Jet Howard. See the Trae Young. I think Nets Daily had that Jet Howard news. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. I got some breaking news while I'm live. Josh Giddey just reached an agreement on a 4-year, $100 million deal to resign with Chicago. You know what I mean? 4 years, 100 mil. What is that? 25 mil a year. So he got over 20. Josh Giddey got over 20 mil. You know what I mean? 25 mil, right? 4 years? Yes, 25 mil. All right. Josh just signed his contract right there. You know what I mean? Breaking news on the live, you heard? Breaking news on the live. Josh Giddey signed his contract, 100 mil for 4 years. You know what I mean? All right, let me see if I can find that. The other news, you know what I mean? While I'm up here talking about Josh Giddey. But that's breaking news. That's breaking news. So now you're seeing that. Should Cam Thomas have wait to get his contract? You know what I mean? I don't know. Did Cam make the right move? Now that Josh signed that for 25 mil for 4 years, did Cam make the right move? Did him and Kuminga make a move too quickly and not wait? Because now did Josh Giddey set the market for 25 mil? Because they tried to give him 20 mil the first time, he declined it. So he got they bumped it up to 25 mil, 25 mil a year. You know what I mean? What y'all, let me know what y'all think about that. All right, here it is. Oh, right here. Scotto raised the possibility of the Nets taking on Jets Howard, 21-6'6" Magic guard in a salary dump. Howard, of course, is the son of Nets assistant Juwan Howard, who coached him at Michigan. So there's a chance. He's still on his chance. It says Howard's still on his rookie contract and would make $5.5 million this year with a team option, a 7.2 option for 2026, 2027, exercised by October 31st. So there's a possibility of that. The Nets taking on another salary dump, Jet Howard. But if he comes to this team, that'll make it like 25 players. If they take on that salary dump, 25 players on his roster. You know what I mean? 25 players on a roster. And at that point, what we gonna do, bro? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? At that point, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? With that. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, is it possible? Or are we gonna keep Jet Howard because of Juwan Howard? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, all these players, go back to my old background. All these players right here. You know what I mean? Yo, I see you, bro. Yo. You know what I mean? All these players right here, we got to choose from. And then add Jet Howard. If they take on another salary dump for Jet Howard, bro, that's 25 players. Then you got to have 18 players on a roster. And I know only one two-way contract is open. You know what I mean? Like, what else do the Nets want to do? Like, it's hard to say what, you know what I'm saying, what it is they trying to accomplish here. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Council, Fambo, Tyrese Martin, you know what I'm saying? All that, like, bro, that's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot right there. I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't got answers. Let me see what it says. It says, wait, Jet Howard, what happened? Yeah, Brian. They were saying on Twitter that it's a possible that the Nets might take on Jet Howard contract as a salary dump. And if they take it on, you know what I'm saying, the son of Juwan Howard, meaning that is a possibility that they might try to keep him on the team because of Juwan Howard. Because they're looking for another salary dump to maintain, to reach the NBA salary floor. You know what I mean? So they might take his contract and keep him. So that's what I said. These guys are not, how many guys do we have? Oh, he said, hell no. Hell nah. But yeah, they might keep him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's saying on Twitter. Like it's a possibility because of Juwan Howard. And here's some more news. The Nets would save $6.3 million if they waive Drew Timme, $1.95 million if they waive Tyrese Martin, $2.9 million for Jalen Wilson, and $2.2 million. If I read that word. Oh no, they would save $6 million if they waive Drew Timme, Tyrese Martin, and Jalen Wilson. As of right now, Brooklyn officially has 20 players on the roster, including two-way Tyson Etienne and EJ Liddell. You know what I mean? We always spending money on mid players. Yeah, so they would save $1 million if they cut those 3 guys. They said we got 20 players, but on the roster, right? So if we only got 20 players with Drew Timmy, Tyrese Martin, Jalen Wilson, and what's his name right there? Oh, I forget. Keon Johnson. Then you don't they don't even have these guys on here. They don't have yo, it's a lot of players, man. Because Grant Fambo on a exhibit 10. Grant Nelson just got a camp invite. Why am I forgetting player's name? Dude from Philly, that's on Philly right there. I forget his name. He's got a small contract. You know what I'm saying? So they only talking about those 3 guys, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's more guys. There's more guys of where these other guys going to. You know what I'm saying? Like 20 guys, and we supposed to have 18. They say officially have 20 players on the roster, and we got to have 18. You know what I'm saying? So Ricky Council, that's his name. Ricky Council is another. So that's 20. They got 20 players. I don't even know, like, yo, who they count as 20. But Ricky Council is one. Fanbo is another. Grant Nelson just got an invite. If we don't fire Sean Marks, we're cooked. Yo, it's rough out here, bro. It's rough out here, bro. Yeah. So they talk about Jalen Wilson and Drew Timmy and Tyrese Martin. That's only 3 guys, but you still got all these guys trying out for the, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make the Ricky, Fambo, and Grant Nelson is another 3 guys. So you cut 3 guys, you still got another 3 guys right there trying out for the team. You know what I mean? And only one of them could be on a 2-way. So Ricky, Fambo, or Grant Nelson would end up on a 2-way. And then if you take Jet Howard, add that to these guys. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I don't know who they keeping, bro. I'm telling you, they're gonna end up with like 24, 25 guys on this roster right now. You know what I'm saying? And my guy Tyrese Martin, I would love to see Tyrese Martin back on his team, but I don't even think he's gonna make it, bro. I don't even think he's gonna make it. I don't think he's gonna make it on his team. And see who just pulled up with the news. My boy Notorious. You know what I'm saying? What's good, bro?
What's good, Ice? What's going on?
Ain't nothing chilling. You know what I'm saying? Training camp, 2.5 weeks, a little bit excited. News is coming through. I don't know if you just seen it. Josh Giddey just signed his contract for 4 years, $100 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just got paid. 4 years, $100 million. So my question, it wasn't nobody up here. Now you pull it up. Do you think Cam Thomas signed his contract too early, or he should have waited till Josh set the market?
Oh, that's a good question, man. That's a real good question. I don't know. I mean, only Cam can answer that, because here's the situation. I don't know the whole context of what's been going on circulating around his contract. Only him and his agent knows, because what if he wasn't getting no interest like that from other teams? You feel me?
Yeah.
So then if I was not getting any interest from other teams, then probably I would have signed it. But if I was, then I probably would have waited a little longer. But who knows? We don't know the type of attention he was garnering for contract negotiations, man, from other teams. So I can't really gauge that, bro.
Right. I don't know either, because I know Jonathan Kuminga said he was going to sign the same thing Cam signed, qualifying offer. And then Josh knew it was just like 4 minutes ago when I read it. You know what I'm saying? That news just came out that he signed that for $100 million. So I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what kind of negotiation he did, but they offered him 20 and they moved it up to 25 million a year, and he signed. You know what I mean? So I would think, like I was saying before, that Cam, because if one of them would have waited, I think Cam would have got a little bit more. I don't know what the Nets trying to do, because they gave Zaire and Dayron an extra $500K on their contracts. So I was thinking if Cam would have waited, they probably would have gave him a little bit more. You know what I mean? To get to the salary floor of the NBA.
Yeah, I guess you could kind of look at it that way. But I mean, is Giddey and Cam really comparable though?
No,
Compatible,
no.
like you know what I mean? Not
Right.
compatible, but comparable. I mean, just because the Bulls seem, I mean, what I'm saying is the Bulls and the Nets the Bulls may look at Giddy a certain way, totally different than what the Nets look at Cam as. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying though. That could have been, some kind of indication about, the market because he's still a young player, even though, he's not in, he's not necessarily comparable to Giddy, but he is a young player, up and coming player, but I don't know. It probably could have helped him though. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Training camp. Another news. I just right before you came out, I was just talking about Nets Daily posted on Twitter that it's a possibility the Nets may take on another salary dump in Jet Howard from Orlando. And because he's Jawan Howard's son, they were just, linking that together. And I'm thinking it's a possibility that they might try to keep him because of Jawan Howard. What you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was always wondering why Jet Howard never really got no burn in Orlando. I mean, was it why he did I don't can you answer that? Cuz I mean, I thought he was going to play, but he never really got no tick.
Nah, I can't really answer that either. I didn't watch enough of his Orlando to see why he didn't get any minutes. Anybody in the chat know why Jet Howard didn't get any minutes in Orlando? Let us know because we don't know. You know what I mean? I
Because
can't
I
even
remember
answer
when he
that.
got picked, he was like the 10th or 11th pick in the first round, somewhere
Yeah,
around there. With the year he came out.
yeah. I don't know. Oh, it says
But
here.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I also seen what was somebody from Philly? I think it was it Grimes or somebody I seen also as well. I gotta go on Twitter real quick.
Yeah. So he didn't Jet Howard didn't get that many minutes. His first year, 3.7 minutes. Second year, 11.7 minutes, 37% from the field, 30% from three. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what it is because he is supposed to be a shooter and he ain't shooting. I don't know. You know what I mean? He's still young.
Yeah, the way they made it seem like he was in the G League a lot, like he wasn't ready. So I didn't really see him get too much tick.
Yeah, they said defense, I think, and Jet Howard was injured last year. Okay. And he is a bad defender on that team and a strong.
So I want to take that back. It wasn't Quentin Grimes. It was Kelly Oubre dump. The
Oh,
Sixers trying to get rid of Kelly Oubre, and we could possibly work something out with them. Possibly free up our protections on that 28 draft pick, or possibly get another draft pick for that
yeah,
salary dump.
yeah, yeah. I seen that too. That makes me that's what we was talking about on TikTok, that Embiid might not be healthy if they're trying to move off Kelly. You know what I mean? They might try to start breaking that team down a little bit, possibly. Or they might just want to do that, get rid of him because they got VJ.
Yeah, but I mean Kelly Oubre's a decent little player though. I wouldn't mind taking him on for a salary dump. He alright.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah. He nice. I like his game. I like Kelly. Aggressive, athletic. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. And he played defense.
Yeah, do the dirty work and he played defense. Correct. They say he was getting mad turnovers in the G League. Jet Howard. Yeah. Damn. So that's tough. Yeah, that's tough right there. If
No,
we
are they saying like he was causing the turnovers or he was getting turned over?
Nah, he was causing the turnovers.
Oh, so he was playing defense.
No, I mean he was
He
turning
was
the
turning
ball
the
over.
ball over.
Yeah, he was turning the ball over.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he was turning the ball over. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
mean, what is he though? Is he a one or a two?
I think he might be a 2 or 3 because he's 6'6". He's 6'6". He ain't too athletic. You know what I'm saying? 215 pounds. They say he's a guard, so he might be a 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The way that's
11.
sounding, I mean, why would I mean, unless you just want to do it for a salary dump, but it don't make really no sense for him to be here based off of who we have already on the roster. I mean, we got a plethora of guards, bro. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. They said right now we got 20. Right now, at this moment, there's 20 official guys on this roster. And I said they don't even count the guys that I got up here on the screen as some of the guys that's on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like we got 24 guys, or 23 or 24 guys going into the training camp. You know what I
bro,
mean?
it's gonna look like so all y'all familiar with Brooklyn, all my Brooklyn heads and New York heads out there. You heard of Boys and Girls High School. The Nets training camp gonna look like Boys and Girls High School basketball tryouts, bro. Anybody from Brooklyn know what I'm talking about. That school big as hell. And
Yeah,
it's always huh?
yeah.
And it's like fucking hundreds of kids trying out for the team.
About to have a
That's
melting pot.
crazy. That's crazy, bro. Easy, what's good, bro?
Yo, Ice, what's the word, yo? Yo, Joey, what's going on,
And
yo?
I'm chopping it up. Yeah, I seen they said we might get Andre Drummond as well as a Sally Drummond. He's not gonna stay on the team though. He's
Nah,
definitely
yeah,
out
I
there.
don't. Yeah, I seen that too.
Andre Drummond, ew. What?
Yeah, for a salary dump.
It's a salary dump though.
From who?
Nah,
From the Sixers.
they're gonna just I guess buy him out and let him go. So they meet the NBA floor
Oh, so they
for
meet the
money.
criteria because they. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you know, I heard about that too. I forgot where I saw that, but even with all these contracts on the team, even though we're gonna have to shed some of them that's non-guaranteed, we still haven't met the criteria of this salary spending. I'm like,
nope.
yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Low contracts, bro. You know what I'm saying? Contracts so low, we ain't paying nobody no big money. You know what I'm saying?
So
The
with
highest
that being
person.
said, since we ain't paying nobody, do y'all think the Nets could have gave Cam a little bit more than 15 a year?
Well, that's what I was thinking. If he would have waited just a little bit longer, you know what I mean, and they ain't reached the floor, they could have probably gave him another 2 mil or you know what I mean, another mil, 2 mil or something like that to reach the floor if that was necessary. You know what I mean? If he would have waited it out.
You see, but here the problem, right? You see, Joey, I would agree, right? But the thing is, my boy, he not trying to compromise to that degree. He going straight for the gusto. He looking for over 22, 25 mil. So like the extra 3, 4 mil you could have probably negotiated if you had a good negotiation with your with the Nets. You're not even trying to have that. So like 15 mil, they probably could have tacked on like 18 mil, so a little 18 mil deal. But you looking for 25.
No, I see what you said. I was just asking because it's like, okay, yeah, the Nets is being real stingy with the money, right? So, but I mean, who are you going to give the money to? Because you like I said, you way below the salary cap, and you need to hit it, but yet you're not trying to pay nobody, which leads me
But
to believe that are you just trying to use the rest of that calorie sat for salary dunks?
Yeah.
but you rather not give a bad contract out instead of trying to meet 1 year quota
No, I feel
because
you.
you
But what I'm
because you could
saying is,
find
here's my thing,
contracts
though,
though.
Easy, right? Here's my thing. Who I don't think it would have been a bad contract if it was short term. Like, let's say if it was a
How many years?
2 year contract and it was 25 mil.
He wants security though. He not looking for 2 years. He wants security.
Okay.
He looking for 4 years.
Yeah,
I hear
yeah.
you. I hear you. But he's not looking for 2 years. And with the production he put on the table, it's going to be hard pressed to even try to negotiate 2 years with him. And then, like I said, he not even trying to look for that. So,
Yeah, but that's crazy though, because like I said, you could fuck around. Somebody could give you 2 years. What's better? Somebody giving you 2 years for 50 mil, or you fucking around and not playing to the value you think you're gonna play. You want it playing 4 years for like 65 mil or some shit like that.
you know what? I think this is one thing we got to consider though. So, and we have to keep it a buck. The Nets have not done right by this kid. So, like, and he feels that. So the less money he taking from the other team, he just gonna feel like there's more opportunity there and more freedom there, a whole different lifestyle that he been feeling other than what he been feeling here. He rather lose out on that back end just to have the opportunity to
Yeah,
flourish in
but
the league.
easy. We talked about this shit. We don't know what that opportunity gonna be like on his next team. We can sit here and project and say that's what he want, but that don't mean it's gonna go that way. He could get to
No,
his next team and probably not be getting the playing time or be utilized wrong and be miserable. And that way
no,
he can't really perform to the peak he wants to.
no. I feel that. If anything, you see, Joey, when you say that now, and I've been thinking about this, I feel like he really should have took the deal because here's my thing, right? And we're gonna have to deep dive into this because I remember Shams came up with the report. 10 teams have the cap space for next season. Well, that's nice to say, but what are those 10 teams? Because like, why haven't one of those 10 teams like become like OKC or some bullshit like that? Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be OKC because they got 3 max contracts, but like, why was the contending team that's not looking like they don't have a spot for him? Like, so that one team that you considering for cap space, they're already out the team out the water. So like, what's the what's the options? My thing is if you took that two-year deal and they probably like traded you or some shit within that in those years, and it's probably like to a team that you might not want to go to or like they don't have that playing time. What's the difference between that and you leaving to go to a bad team that just got the money for you? Like either way, it might just play out in the same way. You just taking a different path to it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's what I'm saying. So that's
So
what
I
I'm
feel
saying. It ain't really no perfect scenario. Everybody like trying to find this perfect scenario to where they can say so they can be like, yeah, Cam, screw the Nets. Yeah, Cam put his middle finger up at y'all. At the end of the day, it's all a gamble. And a lot of things can go wrong with this gamble. He could get to another team that's a bad team and he just scoring empty fucking points on a bad team. Or he could get to a team to where the coach ain't really playing him like that. And he be coming off the bench. You know what I mean? For a championship contending team. You don't what I'm saying is it's a lot of variables, bro. When you dealing with a new environment, you dealing with new people. You can bet on yourself, but it's a lot of people that could get in your way and stunt what you're trying to do as a player, you know? Now,
Yeah.
if you go to another team, and the perfect scenario, if you go to a championship contending team and they got this, I don't see Cam starting on the championship contending team. They got the perfect 6-man role for you, and you looking like Lou Will out there, and they're giving you all these minutes, and you closing games sometimes, and you're like the perfect 6-man, and you torching shit. Then yeah, I can, but we don't know if that's going to be the case wherever he goes.
I think if he go to a good team, I think he'll be open to that kind of role, especially if it's a good team that got like
But
really
but
good
here's my
players, like
thing,
great
Easy,
players.
real quick. That leads to another topic. We know, and we talked about this on other shows, right? That if he is put into that 6-man role, and Iguodala talked about it as well. Remember, we had this discussion with Breezy. 6-man gets pigeonholed when it comes to salary. So
Yeah.
if he is in that fucking position, he's not gonna get the type of money he was looking for anyway when he was on the Nets.
But here the thing. So the most money you could have even got was from us, and we not even trying to give you top dollar. If anything, you just took a qualifying offer, and the biggest offer that we try to give you was a $15 million, a 15 million per. So like, if you go to a good team and prove yourself, bro, the money you're gonna get from that is gonna be substantially more than what you've been getting from here. Because we could have been, we're the only team that could have gave. We had your bird rights and we drafted you. We did not offer you all the max money. So you, off that alone, because we set the precedent. Your career, you it's gonna be hard pressed for you if you become a starter to get the big dollar that you're looking for. So if you go into that 6-man role, you could possibly elongate your career and still make top dollar. Yeah, Lou Williams should have got paid more, but he was compensated greatly for the times and the places he was at.
Yeah, but 30 asking for 30 million a year, that ain't no 6-man type of salary, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
But what's wrong with like 20 or 22 mil,
I mean,
19 mil, 18 mil?
I'm just going off of what was reported that Cam wanted. So that's why I'm using 30. I don't know. I mean, if he's willing to take that.
Right.
My thing is, when you bet on yourself in this type of situation, a lot of things could go wrong, and a lot of things have to line up right in order for you to really hit and get paid, bro. He can go to another team. The coach might not be utilizing him right. He might not give him enough minutes. He might not be meshing with players. The coach might not play him because he ain't playing defense. He might not stay healthy. We don't get injured. We don't know. It's so much shit that can happen to derail this perfect plan y'all got for Cam Thomas to go to another team and do well and get paid.
Well, I think he's just hoping somebody pick him up because the plan is to play out the contract. So my thing is for Cam specifically because he's a unique talent. You could say, yo, the coach might not play him this year, and he might get less minutes, and that might hurt his stock. I think for Cam specifically, you know what he is right now. So whatever, unless he come out this year and he shows some crazy defensive ability, or for some reason The Rock just finds his hand most of the time, and he's playmaking out of this world. 3 assists jump to like 6, 7 assists.
Yeah,
You
but
know what you're
that's the
getting from
thing.
this guy.
That's the
But
thing.
real quick, Joe.
Everybody knows what he is, right? And I'm not
Right.
saying he won't have a job in the NBA because somebody definitely going to pick him up. The question is he's going to get the money and the opportunity that he wants? The question is, we know what Cam is, but we want to see more out of Cam. And we want to see if he can develop that. That's the
I think
question.
he want out of here, Joey. I just think he want out of here. I think he fed up with this bullshit that
No,
we
but
doing over here.
it's
Right.
not just the Nets though, bro. It's everybody. I think the whole basketball world and sports world is just keying in on Cam Thomas, and I think they following closely because I think a lot of people are interested. But I think just like the Nets, some people want to see him hit other wickets and want to see if he can stay healthy and see if he can consistently improve in these other areas before they really go all in on him.
No,
Mhm.
I hear that, Joey. But I think for him, I think he's looking at like the grass is green on the other side. I think there's gonna be more opportunity. I I think he's looking at different teams and saying like they're not doing that what they're doing over here. Remember, Kyrie said this. Kyrie said this, and remember what players say some things and they resonate. He said, "Yo, I'm happy I got out of Brooklyn. I'm tired of what they're doing here. I hope the best for anybody who's over there." That type of stuff resonates.
Bro, I don't take nothing Kyrie. I take everything Kyrie say with a grain of salt. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole,
I
but
know, Joey. I
but
know,
I'm just saying, like Kyrie
but
Irving being your bar, we could go and say a lot of players said that they like the Nets organization and they like being here. So
but when there's smoke, there's fire, Joey. When there's smoke, there's
I'm
fire.
just saying though, bro. I'm just saying, like we could go back and forth at what player said what. Kyrie Irving in the front office did not have a good relationship when Kyrie was exiting, so I expect him to say that.
That's very interesting. How you guys doing? I was gonna come on sooner, but I covered the
Yeah.
Josh Giddey stuff for a bit. $100 million. That's that's one lucky dude, man. See, he was just under investigation a few months ago. To get 100 mil, poof. Bulls really don't know what they're doing. But yeah, this issue you guys are talking about, we're 2 weeks away, like I said in the topic from regular season starting. It's unfortunate the Cam Thomas situation, how it turned, but I ultimately find blame with both parties here. I think easy saying with Cam Thomas, leave 30 mil on the table. No guarantee you'll get that next year. And that's if you play over 60 games, you improve on all your weaknesses, and you have certain starish numbers, which is going to be hard to do when you basically told the front office you don't want to be part of their future and you don't respect their vision. So it'll be interesting to see what juggling act we see with Cam Thomas the first 2 to 3 months of the season, how that goes. Now on the other side, Sean Marks, I'm just over with the Sean Marks regime. I mean, 10 years, guys. This is 10 years we've had to be subjected to this crazy circus roller coaster ride of the Sean Marks, Joe Desai regime. And what have we accomplished in 10 years? Not a damn thing. Because Sean Marks has shown an inability to foster relationships with the talent to want to invest on this team long term. You just mentioned it with stars. They want to be here because of him. Role players, they want to be here, want to go across the bridge. And now up and comers like Cam is saying, you don't want to give me a role. You don't see my talent, what I can do. You want me to jump all these ropes for you, but you don't want to give me any type of belief in what I can do. So I'm out of here too. So it's just unfortunate that we're still repeating the same mistakes for the last 10 years, but Marks keeps preaching culture, flexibility. Like, culture just feels like more of a company policy at this point than an actual ideology. Because do you guys feel the culture? Do you feel the Brooklyn grit vibes? I don't. I feel like we're trying to copy other teams right now with pieces that don't fit on a puzzle right now. Yet we're getting the same rhetoric that this is all going to work out in the end because culture and flexibility are going to get us there. No, it's talent. The talent gets you there, and you have to have the talent want to be invested in what the hell you're trying to accomplish. So unless Sean Marks is getting promoted or his contract is up this year, Joe Tsai needs to wake up, stop trying to buy the Miami Dolphins, and focus on the team you took over 10 freaking years ago. Get a GM that actually knows what they're talking about, and actually get players that are invested in the system. And this AC Law guy, I heard some good things about him. If he's going to be the eventual replacement of Sean Marks, put him on the job right now. He just won a championship with OKC. Let him run this team because as long as Sean Marks is GM, I don't think we're building a damn thing in Brooklyn. And it's a shame the Cam Thomas situation happened because you think a GM that's been around for 10 years and in a rebuild era would have something set up with this guy, even if it wasn't a long-term thing. But he didn't. He said he had all the time in the world to get a deal done, and Cam's like, nah, you wasted 4 years of my life. I'm not going to waste the next 4 on you. And that's what Cam said and took that $6 million qualifying offer. So regardless of how the season goes, I wish the best for the rookies, but all this drama that's happening right now during a rebuild should not be happening. And it's not going to change until you get new voices in that front office that actually understand how to implement a structure, a winning philosophy, and a buy-in from who you draft, who you want to get in the future, and what vets you get on this team. Because if you don't have that right now, we're just reshuffling the deck, expecting a different outcome, and we're getting nothing done. And that's under the Sean Marks and Joe Tsai regime.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for Cam. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I think if he would have waited, he probably would have got a small bump up. You know what I mean? Small bump up. But I was talking about hold on, next one. Yeah, I was talking about before y'all got on here. I was talking about Claxton. You know what I'm saying? That was my focus before y'all got on. I was waiting till y'all pulled up. But Clax, right? As far as fans want to see Clax score more, and Bayron being behind Clax. And, not sure if we're going to have Drew Timmy, got Danny Wolf, may end up in the G. So this year with the guards, right? Like we're talking about how many guards we have. And I watched the film on Clax. I seen that he actually got a lot of lobs last year. Most of his highlights is lobs, you know what I mean? From Cam, from Tyrese Martin, from, you know what I mean? From the guys that was on the court. They threw him the ball. They threw him lobs. But he doesn't have the ball in his hands a lot. So I went down and checked on it, just on the East, not in the whole NBA, but on the East. Claxton is ranked 13, like 13 for scoring, right? And in front of him, he averaged 10.3 points this year. And in front of him is Valanciunas with 11, Jalen Duran with 11, almost 12, Mo Wagner with 13, Brook Lopez with 13, Jared Allen with 13, and Jakob Poeltl with 14, and then Mark Williams get up to 15. So the points ain't that far to separate these guys, and you know what I'm saying, as far as being a center, because the highest scoring centers is Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns and Porzingis at 20, 23, and 24. But besides that, everybody else is 18 all the way down to 10. So there's, let me see, count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, out of those, there's only in front of Clax, there's 10 guys. You know what I'm saying? 10 guys, and the most is 18. And he's at 10. 8 points, 4 points will put him in the middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? Or those guys, the top scorers for centers. So what do y'all think that Clax needs to will you think Clax needs to score more, or do you think Clax will have an opportunity to score more this year with these many guards on the team?
It's a great question, Ice. Listen, I get Claxton, man. I call this guy the tantrum king because that's what he was last year. But clearly now this is an important season for him. Like you just said, we have all these guards in the team. So you think that this team would be suited to actually to Claxton's strengths as far as him being a lob threat, a roll runner, a cutter, stuff like that. Like the best way to utilize Claxton is to have constant movement with him in a lot of different plays. Once you slow the pace down, Claxton is just useless like a bag of tools. Like he just does not do anything to help you on the court. He's got a horrible mid-range shot, horrible three-point shot. So the best way to boost up Claxton's value is to have a pace of play this year. And the good thing is you have all these different playmakers. So Claxton realistically should be our fourth or fifth best scorer on this team if the goal is to raise his trade value up. Because ultimately, I think you have to trade Claxton somewhere down the line this season. Let's at the beginning of the season, but somewhere down the line because you have guys like Noah Clowney and Danny Wolf who are eventually going to want to get more minutes, and they're both fighting off the bench right now because we're stuck with Claxton. And you have Dayron, who just re-signed as well to be your backup. So for Claxton, we definitely have to get his value up. His value as an all-time low right now, and there are potential teams like Hornets, maybe Pacers, that could show an interest in Claxton if he can boost his value up. The only problem is making over $20 million, so they're definitely gonna have to find ways to elevate his offense. Now, ask him if he's going to do more. You saw with Jordy last year saying that in the flow of the game, maybe we'll let Claxton do this or that if it meets the rules of play. There should be no rules with Claxton. You're on a rebuilding team. It should be up to him to do his own offense. But as we've seen, he needs point guards to do 90% of the offense for him. So having all these playmakers is an advantage purely for Claxton's gameplay because we need him to raise his trade value up if the goal is to move him and open up minutes for Dayron, Clowney, and eventually Danny Wolf. So it's a good thing to have playmakers, but Claxton's got to take it upon himself to utilize the playmakers to his advantage and to boost up his numbers, especially if he wants to off this team, because realistically, he's 26, going to be 27. He's going to be in his prime next year. And looking at how badly he's getting offensively as he gets older and older, you do not want to trade Claxton when his value is as bad as it is right now. You hope he could raise the value up mid-season, and a team would want to trade for him, and then we could open up more minutes for our big guys. But yeah, hopefully the playmakers will work in Claxton's advantage. If not, sadly, we're stuck paying him for the next 2 years, which you don't want. So I hope, and I think he will raise his value up this year. It'll just be interesting to see if a team does want him, though.
Everybody know? Joey, easy.
Yo, yeah, I mean, it would be nice if he could score more, but he's not going to score more because
Right.
he's just a niche player that needs a certain type of setup to really thrive. And we don't, I mean, we might have the playmaking, with the guards we got in the draft, but we don't know, man. Claxton needs a good point guard. He needs to play with stars. He needs somebody that's gonna attract a lot of attention. Like John said, I mean, he really can only score in the open court. He could score on the pick and roll a little bit in the half court set, but besides that, in the half court set, he can't really score like that. He got a
Right.
little bit of skill of taking the ball to the basket, but then he's not a strong finisher. That's the
Yep.
thing. Like he's not going dunking on you, and he doesn't have a good layup package, a good feel around the rim. Um, it just is what it is with him, man. Like, yeah, maybe you get some good play out of him, and one of the point guards can actually up his value. But I think he hit his ceiling. I mean, I don't. I mean, this is who he is, bro. So
Yep.
Uh, when it comes to Claxton, I look at him more as a play finishing big. So I'm expecting him to finish lobs and like easy putbacks and like easy dump offs that not necessarily like a guard that I have to create for. 'Cause I saw him doing well with KD at point in times even before too. So like not even just a guard, like just a guy that know how to set him up and play make. For Clax this year, I don't necessarily I don't know the impact of how his points per game could look. I don't know the impact. I'm I think I don't know if you could look this up, Ice, but look at his field goal percentage and the effective field goal percentage. Look in the East to see where he ranks. I expect him to be if the playmaking goes right or goes what the team expects it to go as. I expect them to be at least for the East one of the top leaders in field goal percentage. Everything
That's
he's gonna be
interesting.
converted all the looks. So I expect him to be converting the looks that he's gonna be getting this year. I don't know how that's gonna affect points per game. I'm not looking to see a crazy jump like Akano Ice just said like 10 points or something like that. Like the most I see it probably going up to is maybe like 12 or 13. I don't see it go like taking a crazy jump, but I expect the field goal percentage to either be better or if he's leading in the top leaders, he's gonna be in there clearly still, especially with other people that's gonna be finishing good. In terms of of his value, I don't think his value is too bad. I wouldn't I wouldn't start Dayron over Cox because that would send a bad message if you are looking to get off of him.
Right.
Unless you're trying
Right.
to raise Dayron value, but you just gave him a contract, so then you're trying to that's kind of productive to what you're even trying the message you're putting out to other teams. So like you're putting up a fire sale sign, but you're like downplaying one item for another item, but at the same time you're downplaying the item that you're showcasing. So it's like you kill yourself with like five different swords. So um, I don't think Claxton's value is that bad on on the market because I mean there was even rumors and reports of him even in trade talks and even in reports of teams even wanting him. So I mean you if you're not being mentioned at all, that's when you know your trade value is bad. Like they don't even want to talk about you. Like when you was like Bradley Beal on the Wizards, like they don't even want to like consider you. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, you good, but like yeah, but your contract is horrible. We're not even trying to look at you. So like I would consider that bad. So like I don't think it's necessarily all the way bad, but I don't want to get off even if you think he's not a starting caliber big man, that's up for discussion.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to get off of him for two or three guys that's clearly not ready for the role. I don't think you could hold Dayron for full time. You're gonna look worse than what you already are, and
No,
I don't trust a rookie in that position, that spot.
that's a fair point, Ease. And I would say this too. I think the Hornets are definitely a team to pay attention to because they don't have a center right now. And Claxton might be able to play alongside LaMelo, Knipple, and the other guys that they got. So they have a young core right now, but they're missing that starting big. So if Claxton can't boost his numbers up, maybe it seems like the Hornets will be willing to give some good assets for him. So I agree with you. You don't want to trade him too early, but maybe mid-season you want to trade him because you want the young guys to become acclimated with playing regular minutes before throwing them off into the deep end. I definitely agree with you on that. But this is probably your best chance to trade Claxton before you're stuck with him, though.
All right, so Clark's field goal percentage right now is 56%. The year that he led the league in 22-23 was 70%. 23-24 was 62%. And this year, so it dropped down. It dropped down.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I hate reading field goal percentages for centers because it's like, dude, their percentage is going to be high. They do lobs and dunks. So of course
Not necessarily, Joey. Not necessarily.
I'm just saying most centers are getting their buckets around the rim, and specifically a especially a center like Claxton. Claxton ain't shooting no jump shots, bro. He
Right.
rarely shoots.
But you see, so like, all right, here the thing, right? So like, for me, right, with this field goal percentage, you gotta tie it into attempts, and then with that, for the center position, anything for me below 60% is bad.
Right. I
So
feel you,
so if like I'm giving you 10 attempts and your field goal percentage is less than like 58% on 10 attempts, and I know you just a lob threat and niggas is setting you up and you can't convert, what is going on with you, my brother? Like
I'm just
that's now I
saying,
have to put
bro.
the magnifying glass.
If you got a center who shoots middies, and it could shoot, his field goal percentage is going to look a lot less lower than somebody who's just a lob threat. You know what I mean? Because granted, those 2 points from the midi is still the same as a dunk. So If you getting 10 dunks a game, my nigga, like, you know, and
No, I get
you
that,
supposed
Joey,
to
but
have a
then
high field goal percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get that, Joey,
then
but then
me, if
that's when
I'm
you put.
shooting 5 jump shots and I probably hit 2 out of 5,
But
and
but
then
but that's when you put context on the situation. Like a guy like Jokic, you can know like, all right, uh, he dominates inside the paint, but you can know like he hit the outside shot, he go to the long ball post, he do all of that right there. So you know that's gonna factor into his field goal percentage. But for a guy like Claxton, you know what he getting right there, and the times when he bullshit, you just know that's like one or two times occasionally. So you know what he getting. So if that shit is bad, my nigga, what's going on, bro? What is going on?
like I remember one year Jared Allen like led the fucking league in field goal percentage, and everybody thought that was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, well, he's a
I think he
lob
was
threat.
top five last season. I think he was top five last season.
I'm talking about when he was with us, he led it, but I'm just like, I'm really not moved by that shit. You know what I mean? Because I know it's manufactured, like it's
Well, he
manufactured
had
based
three
off of your
stars with him. Remember, Joe, he also had 3 stars helping bump up a lot of those stats. Like, and I so are
yeah
these the stats over the
that
last
too.
set? Are these the stats over the last 6 years for Claxton totality? Or are they the last 2 years? Because the last 2 years without stars, he's been abysmal. So, are you taking all the seasons of his career into account
But that's
with
why,
those
John. That's
stats?
why I said he's the type of player that he needs. He Claxton can't hold his own. Let's if you say, hey, I want Claxton to score points. If he doesn't have the right setup, he's not going to do it. He can't hold his own. He
Right,
needs a star
right. I
point
agree.
guard who's going to garner a lot of attention, who can manipulate the PNR, sort of like a James Harden, who's going to get him those easy baskets.
I agree.
He's going to
That's
have this. He's going to have this inflated field goal percentage, and everybody's going to think, "Oh, look at Claxton. He's 80% from the field goal percent." Like, yeah, I mean, you got fucking James Harden, you giving you dimes over the top, like
right.
majority of the game. Like,
That's why I was so bummed we missed out on Fears. I thought Fears would have been a great pick and roll guy with Claxton. I thought that would have been a good combination. Now you have all these playmakers, but you don't necessarily have a set point guard. One of these guys is going to have to take on a heavy burden as far as getting Claxton wide open shots. It could be a mix, but you want to have certain guys and combinations that works for Claxton. Not that he just looks like a bumbling jerk out there to getting caught and not pushing the pace. I keep saying this. The only way to utilize Claxton is the pace has to be as quick as possible this year. It can't be slow. The moment it's slow, Claxton's just a liability the whole time around. And
here's
you
my
want
thing.
Claxton to initiate a lot
This
on
is how
lobs.
I see it with
I
centers.
knew he was
I don't respect centers who can't do one or two things. You either got to be able to get your own shot, or you got to be able to clean up the glass. If you
Right.
can't clean up the glass and get garbage points or get your own shot, you trash to me because you a
wait,
liability, bro. You need niggas to set you up. You can't go out there and get your own.
real quick, real quick, John, real quick. So 'cause we was one pick off. You think we would have picked Fizz if
I definitely think everything that it was looking Fierce wanted to be here. He spent 3 months in Brooklyn. Felt like he was getting acclimated to the culture, what we're about. And he said, I might like the opportunity of playing with Brooklyn. I thought he would have been perfect for our team, but unfortunately, the Pelicans got super lucky and chose him. And I was like, damn. I think that's also why the Nets got Yegor, because they ultimately wanted a guard, a point guard. And even though Yegor said I'm not a point guard, the day before he said he was a point guard. So I hope they figure out what position he eventually plays. So I think he is our point guard. But yeah, I think the Nets' goal was to get a point guard. And if it wasn't Fears, they were going to jump 10 spots to get the next best one available, which was Yegor. So I understood why they did that. But yeah, if we had Fears easy, I definitely think you would have had a young star that you could have built with who you drafted the following year. And now we really have to hope Yegor has a good year this year. But it'll be interesting to see who you draft next year to fit with Yegor, because I think the plan was the point guard you draft this year is eventually going to be with maybe the wing you draft the following year, or vice versa, depending on how that goes.
okay, but all right. So Joey, when you say I need my son to get a shot, get his own, what, what you mean by that? Like you want him to do the like block
What
plus?
I'm saying is, bro, I'm not even saying like, yo, you got to be on some um like yoga type shit to where you crazy good at middies and you shooting threes. If you could do that, that's outstanding. I know it's not too many big men that could do that, but if you could got a little midi, All I'm saying is you gotta at least have to have good touch around the rim, bro. Put somebody on your hip, back to the basket, good feel around the rim, finishing your layups or finishing strong with dunks. That's I mean, Claxton can't do that. The only way he's scoring in the paint is off a PNR or on a fast break.
That's just how Claxton is, unfortunately, Joe. He's not going to change his stance or
Yeah,
how he does it.
yeah,
That's
but
just
but
it.
I hate to keep bashing Claxton. All I'm just saying is he's a system center, and it has to be a
Right,
specific system in play for him to thrive. You feel what
right.
I'm saying?
That's why I look at teams like Hornets and Pacers. Those are two teams that are going to need a center. And if the Hornets, who are with us in the bracket for lottery, if Gavin Claxton makes their odds, better as far as the play and it makes our odds better with getting a top pick, I'm willing to give him Claxton straight up for a pick or something like that in a Grant Williams at this point. But yeah, like if we're going to move Claxton this year, maybe trade him to a team that is in the playing bracket that, that's near us. Let Claxton help them. Like you said, he fits in a system with set star players. And unfortunately, we are nowhere near that. So if they could boost up his trade value the first 2 to 3 months of the season, I think you have a good shot of moving off Claxton maybe before February if a team really needs
I
a
think
center. And there are a few teams that need bigs right now. So
I think you
yeah,
could move off of him, and I think you're going to do it not with a team that's developing. You're going to do it with a team, a fringed team that's a fringe playoff team. Somebody who's like okay, like trying to get some bodies and get prepared for the playoffs and trying to make that final push into the playoffs. You get
who,
I see a team like that getting Claxton. You know,
who,
I,
who do
I
you
know
who do you think
I know
though?
you saying that, bro. I know you saying that, but like when you look at the teams and then you look at their center positions, they don't really need Claxton unless something dramatic happens, like a
What
crazy.
about Memphis East? They don't have Zach Edey because he had foot surgery, and
I
Jerry
was
Jackson
about to
Jr.
say
had toe
Memphis.
turf. That's some situation to monitor, especially how shaky they are right now with Ja's future. That's something to
I don't
monitor.
I
I don't know if they're in the business of trading for another
Here's the
center
thing
that's
though.
kind of like the same archetype.
I
I don't
think
know.
he can fit well with Jackson because you could put Clax at the four with him.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
that's interesting.
Because Jackson, granted, yeah, Clax can't do a lot of things that a four can do, but Jackson can do a lot of things a four can do. At least your center can do it. Jackson is out there shooting threes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
And
doing all types
Claxton,
of shit at the five. So do you
right.
really need? Do you really need another ball dominant big man next to Jackson? No, you just need somebody with length that's going to help play D, cover the floor, and grab rebounds.
Right, and he's also
So
best friends with John Moran. Perfect pick and
Exactly.
lob threat. And I know it hurts Edie moving him to the bench, but still, having Edie come off your bench is not the worst thing in the world. But you saw Edie in the playoffs, guys. He looked like a freaking bowling ball out there. Like he was just he did not handle the pace of playing in the playoffs well. At least with Claxton, he could slow players down if he has a defensive advantage over them. You pair him with Jackson Jr., gives Ja a lot of defensive coverage and allows him multiple pick and lob threats. So I think,
It's
like you
pretty
just said,
scary.
easy. You just said a situation that's worth monitoring. Definitely Memphis, because John Morant, we don't know if he's going to be on the team pass this year unless they make a serious playoff push. So I definitely think they're a team to monitor, but I would have the Pacers and the Hornets as teams to monitor as well. But Memphis is definitely in the category, especially due to the connection with John
You
Clark.
see,
uh,
I wanted to say Charlotte, but I don't look at Charlotte as a playoff team yet.
Yeah,
Not
but
with
okay, well, playing
play in team though, Joe.
they
We don't
got
want
good
them near
chance to
us in the
make the
lottery
first.
though. So let them be a playing team at this
No,
point.
I mean, if they got to the play-in, I wouldn't be surprised. They have a plethora of young talent on that squad.
Right,
So
but they don't have a
they
censor though. That's my only thing. They don't have
right,
a
they
big at
might
the
have a
moment.
breakout year. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying, but it's just that I don't know. They still haven't
So
found a way to put it all together yet. So
Right.
so if I take all your selections into consideration, we only talking about three teams now.
At the moment, I don't know other teams that want Claxton. Pacers, they lost Turner. The Hornets don't have a center, and Memphis, they're missing two of their bigs due to injury. No other teams really have a need for a center. I still think the Lakers are an option, but the 8 move kind of makes that tough unless they're willing to. They don't believe in Jackson Hayes as a backup and willing to play Claxton 20 mil. I think they're still
20
team to
mil for a
monitor, but
backup? Hell no.
I
Hell no.
mean, it depends on LeBron's situation, but I don't see it because they have cap space next year. So they probably wouldn't want to waste it on Claxton. So yeah, I think Memphis and Magic are another team maybe to monitor, but they have Wendell Carter Jr., so I don't see it. But I would say right now it's the Memphis Hornets and Pacers, unless another team really needs a big. The Milwaukee, it's not possible because of Turner. So yeah, I think those are the three teams to monitor right now, unless a team loses a center at this moment.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, so like when you look at the landscape, like right now for like Claxton Market, if you do look into trade them, it's kind of bare. Like it's really kind of bare right now. So
Well, you
like,
know another team easy? Boston, Anthony Simons for Claxton. They don't have a center, and we could get over $30 million in cap space next year. That's only if the Nets are going to get compensated with draft capital, though. But Claxton for Simons, I could see that deal happening.
Who do the Warriors got for center? What, Looney and this
No,
Looney
Looney's
nah,
guy?
they don't even
gone.
got Looney no
Looney's
more.
gone.
Looney,
Looney's gone. He went
Pelicans.
to the Pelicans.
So who do they have?
they
Uh,
they they got
Draymond.
Oh,
Corian Post. They got
yeah, the
Corian
rookie.
Post.
Bri, what's the rookie name, Bri? I see you in the chat for the Warriors.
They they
No,
they they, they got Post and they got Trace Jackson
Oh
Davis.
yeah,
so
Post,
what
Quentin
I'm just
Post.
saying, what you think about Claxton on the Warriors though, with Draymond and Stefano and
Who we
I
Jimmy?
think he
getting back,
making
though, is the
I think he
question.
making too much money. I think he making too much money for
He,
him to
he
Yeah.
go
don't
to the
he don't
Pacers.
shoot. Clax don't shoot.
Yeah, and it depends on the Kuminga situation, Joey, because that'd probably be the salary coming back to us for Claxton to match, and Kuminga might take the $9 million, so that would be a disparity for our cap space if we did that move. So I don't see that being possible at the moment, unless Kuminga takes a contract.
That is a good suggestion, but it's just the contract and the money now, so it's like so
Yeah, it's tough to make that money work. I just think Memphis, Pacers, and Hornets, those are the teams right now you're looking at. And Boston, if they're really willing to move off of Simons for Claxton, those are the four teams I have at the moment as Claxton suitors.
So
Boston,
you want
Memphis, Hornets,
Simons
and
here?
Pacers.
Hold on, real quick. So you want Simons here even with the full backcourt we got?
Well, at the deadline, listen, Simons doesn't have to be moved to the deadline. We could wait all the way to the deadline. Let's say Claxton gets his value up and the Celtics,
Uh,
okay, maybe we'll give you protected first and Simons for Claxton. I'll take it. I get a pick in free cap space. Like, we could wait till the deadline to get Simons to when the Nets are losing a lot. Having Simons on for the last month or 2 months of the season isn't really going to hurt us because we'll probably already be in a bad spot. You know what I'm saying?
no,
So
I'm
the cap
saying though,
space would help
what's
us.
the long term? I get that, but what's the long term play with Simons? Because he's a
I
talented player.
I
Do
mean,
you keep him? Do you what?
You could sign him on a cheap deal in 2026 for a cap space. I mean, we'll have over $30 million. Maybe we could give him a front court deal for like the first year, and then the second year is a team option, something like that. I could see it, but I would see Simons as a trade asset for us to eventually flip for an even bigger player down the line. You know what I'm saying? So
he
I
ain't get
think
no
that
team
would
option.
work potentially. Yeah,
Because
something like
here's the
that.
thing, like we got so many guards already. Like I wouldn't mind keeping Anthony Simons. I like his game. I think he's nice. But we got so many guards already on this roster. We just drafted like four. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean? I
most of
mean
them are
three
not
of
as
them.
good as Simons. But Simons is purely a scoring guard. I would say we don't really have any good scoring guard besides Cam. So if Cam is gone, having Simons, who's a little older, a little more, used to playing on a bad team, but now we're in a rebuilding mode, maybe that helps us as far as getting his confidence value up. But yeah, I know you just said we have a lot of guards. We don't have shooting guards. So like I'd be fine having Simons, but he's at the prime of his career right now, and maybe we can use that as a trade bargaining chip to make a bigger move down the line. So I could
I
see it
mean, I
working
love
with Simons
Simons.
a
I'm
bit.
just trying to figure out what kind of role he fits on this team, you know?
Yeah, he could be a starter for us at the moment because we don't have a scoring guard right now. Unless we draft Aaron Pearson next year magically, that would make Simons not even a part of the equation at that point. But
So
if you draft a wing
let's say
next
you get
year, figure
Simons. You
something
still got Cam here. You
out.
still got Jaeger here. You still got you still got the kid from UNC. You still got Siraj.
Whitehead,
Who the hell starts?
I don't know. The Terrence Mann one makes it
You
tough
still
too,
got and you
though,
got
with
Ben too.
Simons.
Who the hell
I
starts?
want to know who on this. I want to know who gonna be on the team because you got 18 contracts, right? Who gonna be on the
No, we got
team?
like over 20 contracts, and here's the crazy thing:
Over 20.
we're only 649,000 from the minimum salary floor. But if you waive three guys, which we have to do, it rises to 7 million. So the Nets would have to cover that 7 million just to reach the minimum floor. That's why the Andre Drummond, Kelly Oubre rumors were going stir crazy yesterday because they have to re-sign Quentin Grimes. and Drummond's $5 million and Oubre's $8 million. Oubre's $8 million would help the Nets reach the minimum floor if we did that trade swap, tonight or
Wait,
something
hold on.
like that.
Ubre now signed back to Philly. He not
He
signed back.
opted into his $8 million team option, I think it was. So he's trade eligible at the moment, and he's expiring. But I'm saying he would help us reach the minimum floor. So if the Nets are going to pull off one more salary dump, you trade for Oubre and some picks, we're good. At this point, the Nets roster will be set, especially after you waive the three guys: Whitehead, Wilson, Drew Timmy, etc. And then the Nets roster would be
I
kind of
don't
set.
know, John. I would prefer Kelly Oubre, even though I like Anthony Simons. I would prefer the Kelly Oubre.
You know why
trade.
the Oubre one is better for us in the jump is the Oubre one we could barter with them a bit more. Maybe we could get 2 seconds, or maybe they'll lessen the protections on that first we have. I'd rather take his expiring salary and you lessen the protections on the pick we have, meaning that Philly first will be way more valuable for us as a trade chip. Like Sean Marks has to be ruthless with Daryl Morey. Morey, you're in a pit of hell. You have Embiid and George. I don't know if they're gonna play or not. You're trying to create free salary to re-sign Grimes. You got to help us out. I want protections lifted a bit on that pick, or you got to give me multiple seconds. Either
And
way,
to be clear,
you
you're
have to
talking
root
about
this
that
one.
28 pick, right?
Yeah, that 28 pick. Like it's 1 through 8 right now. Maybe they can lessen it or something like that. Maybe 1 through 5, 1 through 6, something like that. Like just lessen it a bit because like that's not even a good pick for us right now. 1 through 8.
Knowing Maury, he would try to fucking find another trade partner because he wouldn't want to do
Yeah,
that.
but
But
who can
here's the
right now
thing:
though?
it's not
We're
too
the
many
only team with
people out
cap
there that got
space.
the cap space like us.
Exactly. So like we're the only team they got right now. So if we can get the protections a bit removed from that pick to make it more valuable, I'm fine with that instead of getting more seconds because I already have 19 of them. So I hope if we do make a deal with them for a final salary dump, March doesn't just take one of these guys for shit for a second pick. That's a waste of your remaining cap space. Try to
Yeah,
use it to your advantage if you want to do this
I
well.
would prefer the protections being taken off that first in 2 seconds, second round picks.
Oh, listen, if Sean Marks pulls that off, this is a great bow on the cap space, which so far has not been used like how we wanted to. That would be a great way. I get second picks and I get protections removed, but that's only if Daryl Morey knows
No.
that Embiid and George are
I
hurt.
said I would
So,
prefer the protections removed over the 2 second round.
over. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I don't know if you get both. That I think
Nah, you're
more.
not getting both of them. Hell
Yeah,
no.
that would
That's
have been a
only if
steal right there.
that's only if he knows that George and Embiid are really injured. Maybe more is that desperate, but if he knows they're going to be available, fine. Just give me the 2 seconds or remove the protections off the pick.
2028 though. 2028.
Yeah, it's a 2028 pick. It was a 2027 pick, but since the 76ers got the lottery pick, the pick moved. So yeah, now it's a 2028 pick.
Do
Protected.
do. All right. So my question is, all right, two-part question. Do you see Embiid performing at the level that he been performing at all the way at 2028? And do you see VJ elevating his play to keep them afloat in like a play-in playoff contention talking in 2028?
That's a great question, but I don't even know if Embiid's going to be on this team or in the NBA due to his leg injury, which some people are saying could be career ending. But also, based on that article that came out about Embiid, seems like he really doesn't trust his organization. Like he's going to take his sweet ass time, and if he wants out of this team, if they can't perform well this year, Embiid might not be on this team in 2 years. So it really, if we can somehow get protections removed, something like that, before this Embiid situation really blows up in their face, I'm happy with it, but right now, I don't even see the 76ers keeping Embiid or George in the next 2 to 3 years, given the fact that they're just in such a financial hell right now. And under the new CBA, if you're paying penalties and you're not winning, you really are losing more than you should. So, yeah, I just don't see that working. Edgecombe, they got to steal on this kid. I think this kid's going to be a future potential star in the NBA. But right now, the 76ers are paying 2 aging stars a whole lot of money, and they're getting constantly bombarded by injuries. So if the Nets could pull off some type of little deal here to get some extra picks or protections, move off that 2028 pick, makes that 2028 pick a valuable trade asset for the Nets. I don't think we're going to be drafting in 2028, but based on the Embiid situations going, if we could help them out somewhat while still knowing they're probably going to be doomed, it benefits us with that pick as a trade asset in the future. Because if there are teams willing to trade stars, they're going to want that pick. That pick could be a potential lottery pick if Embiid is off this team by 2028. What do you
I
think, Joe?
agree.
No, I
I'll be
agree, man.
shocked.
It's a lot of. I think the Sixers is one of those teams that got a lot of question marks
Lot.
about them. Like we don't know what's going to happen with them. We don't know what's going to happen with Embiid. Is he going to be the same? He's going to play up to his usual self. We don't know if Murray's trying to blow it up or he's trying to like save face for what he has. I don't know. I don't know. They just one of those teams. They just got a lot of question marks around them, man.
I'll be
Right.
shocked. I'll be shocked
Yeah,
if the
I
Warriors
Eh,
don't,
give
I
away
don't
that pick or take away the protection
think.
of that pick. I'll be insanely shocked.
But to be fair, I don't know. Them trying to get off certain contracts. That's kind of looking like he's trying to retreat too. So like
right.
they ain't trying to pay nobody. I don't know unless he got something else in mind that he another player that in mind that he's trying to get or
You,
target.
you, you know what's crazy though? They got so lucky with those Clippers picks because I know you guys are watching the Kawhi situation. Who knows where that's going to go? But man, if the Clippers break up their old core very soon, even if the 76ers aren't held, that Clippers 2028 pick they got, that could be their saving grace, man. If they decide to blow it all up and build around Edgecombe, McCain, and Maxey, man. Like as bad as it looks for 76ers, those three young players they got, if they actually had a smart GM, they could blow it all up, and that Clippers pick could really get them a future star to pair with Maxey and Edgecombe, and then they're good. Like as bad as it looks for them, they still have some good young pieces, but they got to make a decision this year because if they have to go through what they went through last year, I don't see Embiid or George want to stick around much longer. So this is it. If they get off to a bad start the first 2 months, I think they're breaking it up by the deadline. I really do.
So I hear you, John, but like the thing with the Clippers, they not the Clippers of the old now. They will pay to get a good team, and that good team is gonna get them somewhere. So I hear you. That could happen, but for me, more times than not, right now, how I see the Clippers, I don't see it. They will pay to have a good team, so they're gonna pay for the talent. So like,
I don't know,
I look
man.
at the talent they
Their
got.
pay practices aren't looking too good in the eyes of the NBA world right now. Their pay practices, so we'll see.
No, no, it's not looking good. But Steve Ballmer's still a rich guy. Even if you dock him picks and all that and fine him and stuff like that, he still got money. It's not like you taking away his capital, his equity. You just
Well, here's
That's
the
true, but
funding
he
him
still got to
and
play
stuff.
within the rules, though. Easy.
right, and
No,
here's the
no, he
big
got
play.
he got to play within the rule. But I'm saying he still got money, so he
Oh
could
yeah, he
still
got buku
spend
bucks.
top
We know
dollar.
that.
Yeah, so he could
But here's
still
the
spend
crazy
top
thing.
dollar. He could go into the first apron. He could still do all of those things. So like even if you slap him on the wrist, he still has those things in his
I
possession.
see what you
So
said.
all I'm
He's
saying, he
he's willing. He's willing to do things that other and pay for other things that other owners are not willing to do.
right,
Yeah, but
right.
here's the crazy thing. If they do punish him and it's the serious punishments, imagine Kawhi's contract gets voided and he's a free agent. Where would he go, man? I mean, you think these remaining championship teams would like want to give him whatever they can as far as minimum goes? Who would want to sign him if he is
I don't
found
think
to
they're
be
doing that.
guilty?
I don't think they're doing that. If they was going to do that, I think they would have did it by now. I don't think they're doing that. I don't think they're
Nah,
going to do
you're probably right, but Kawhi has been super silent, so who knows, man? Like this could go any way right now. But if it does, the NBA is going to be squirming to try to get him on their team. Like I heard something like OKC has the mid-level exception. Imagine Kawhi on OKC right now. How sick of a cheat code that would be. Like nobody would watch the season if his contract got voided and he just he just hopped to OKC, man. Like that would be sick if that happens.
Yeah, I don't think sure. And I already think see the way I look at Philly is like they already rebuilding. They already grabbing young pieces. So you know what I mean? It all depends on they can like I said, they was in a position like us, they can go either way. And they're gonna try to compete and at the same time they're gonna try to rebuild slowly at the same time. So you know what I mean? To them it all depends on what happens. And everything depends on Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Everything is on his shoulders, on his knees, I should say. You know what I'm saying? If they're competing or not, or which direction they want to go. Because you know what I'm saying? They already got three young pieces. They probably got more than that. I don't know their whole roster, but you know what I'm saying? The pieces that we do know, they all young at this point.
They got Johnny Broom, right? They drafted Boom in the second round, I think. Johnny
Oh yeah,
Broom.
they got him too. So yeah, four. They drafted somebody else too. I think they got two pieces. So they might have five young players on their roster right now.
Oh yeah, that guy Aldama or something his name is. He's a rookie center on their team. That's why they want to move off of Drummond.
I'll be
So
forgetting about McCain too, yo. Damn, I'll be forgetting about McCain.
They
yeah,
got
not
Ray
Mc,
Harrison.
I was pleasantly surprised by McCain. Everybody was joking about the fingernail painting, but the kid really can ball. I mean, he was shooting like this dude looked like Maxi times two as a rookie. Like I think that's a good young backcourt they got. It's just their front court is the biggest weakness. Like their front court is horrible. The center court is abysmal. Like they really got to. It's crazy because some teams really wish they had the ideal backcourt. But that team, you wish you had a way more ideal front court because if they don't have a good front court, everybody's walking over that team, right? No matter how good the scorers are on the team. They just need a better front court. And just financially, they committed the worst money to two guys, a center, an Embiid, and a forward in George. You just can't. The buys are breaking down at the wrong possible time. So I feel like if they get out to a slow start, they're going to break that shit up. There's no way Moore can go to trade deadline with a mediocre squad and say, oh, we're going to get lucky again. No, no. You got to break it up if that's the way it's going. And if the Nets could somehow get Drummond or Oubre with some picks, I think it benefits us. I think if Sean Marks wants to make good use of this final bit of cap space, use it to your advantage. More is in financial hell. Don't just take the guy for free in a second pick. Don't do that. Use this to your advantage. We've been saying for Sean Marks, you got to be ruthless. Instead, you were ruthless with Cam Thomas. No, be ruthless with other teams. Get what you got to get with this remaining cap space. Just don't take a second pick and bail them out. This is our chance, like Joey just said. Let them take off the protection someone in 2020 pick and make it more valuable for us because we're not helping them for free here to try to get out of hell.
So if you decide to go with either Drummond or Oubre, who are the people we cutting off the team?
Timmy's on the bubble, Whitehead, Wilson, and I know ISIS guy Tyrese Martin, but those are the four that we keep hearing as options to be cut.
No Jalen Wilson?
No, I
We
said
cutting
Wilson. I said
Jalen
Wilson.
Wilson?
No,
So
he's definitely
Jalen
on the
Wilson on the
bubble.
block?
Yeah, he's on the bubble. That guy had so many missed opportunities. You thought last year he'd have an opportunity where he would show you what he could really do, but the guy's just a catch and shooter. He really doesn't do much besides maybe some interior rebounding, but the guy can't dunk. He has no athletic ability, and he's not a great playmaker. Like his playmaking, horrible. Like he's just a catch and shoot guy. Yeah, I would say he's like a D minus version of a Joe Harris. Like that's what I see Jalen Wilson as right now. I don't see him really giving you a whole lot at this point.
Yeah, so they're gonna. I got it on the background right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. You know
No,
what
I
I'm
see it.
saying?
I see it.
Yeah. It says starting five. This is Bobby Marks. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Marks run down of the team. They got Terrence Mann starting,
Yikes.
Cam
That's a
Thomas,
joke.
Michael Porter, Noah Clowney, and Claxton as starters. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yikes.
reserves, Tyrese Martin. I think what it said about the non-guaranteed point guards. That's what it says, non-guaranteed point guards. But I don't know why Yeager's in there. But Tyrese Martin, Yeager, Keon Johnson, Nolan Trayor, Ben Sarab, and then it runs down the line all the way down to Deron Sharp, Drake Powell, Zaire, Highwood, Smith, Jalen Wilson, Drew Timmy, Danny Wolf, and Deron. You know what I mean? I don't know why he put that's just the reserve. So yeah, right now, like I said, we got 20, I think it's 23 or 24 players. I know they said they signed as far as guys being signed is 20, but the guys who are not signed is like 3 extra guys or 4 extra guys or something like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
they
don't,
got things up.
it's a lot of players. That's what I said. Like, you know, the training camp coming up. They gotta break this team. Like they gotta find what guys they want. And me, the way this team is, I don't know what guy they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm still lost on. You know what I mean? Like who is the guy that they would keep out
Hey,
of this group? Yo,
I think that the Nets themselves are trying to figure that out, bro. No, seriously, I'm not trying to be funny. I think that's why they got so many of these guys coming to training camp because they're not even decided on who they really want. I think they
Yeah,
got some question marks going into training camp. That's why they got so many people coming.
they got a lot
And
of
that's
question
that
marks.
bullshit right there, bro. That's that bullshit. It takes me right back to that video I saw on Twitter about everybody in that little war room talking about the draft. It don't look like nobody was on the same page, bro. It don't look like nobody was on the same page,
You
bro. Y'all
think,
did not
Easy?
come to the same. And since y'all had 5 picks y'all could appease people. That's what it felt like. Y'all appease people. Okay, we don't know who to pick, so we just gonna go with the picks that everybody like. All right, so y'all going with this, y'all going with that. We gonna come to this kind of understanding. This little group. Nobody came to a full understanding. It looked like some crazy shit, bro. Come on, bro.
You know what it
Yeah.
was, East? This was Sean Marks' mantra on the scout video. Disagree and agree. Why disagree? You should know by now who you want. Like, this is the problem. You had one of the biggest scouting departments in the NBA, and this is what you give me. You give me 5 playmakers. Like, what the hell? No Nick Clifford, no Maxime Reynard, no Rasheed Fleming, no Noah Senge, no Maliwak. No, let's get Ben Saraf. Because that's such a name that'll sell tickets. Like, are you crazy? Listen, this organization dropped the damn ball. Sean Marks needs to take his pink slip, get the hell out of Dodge before next year's draft, because that cannot happen. I can't have a whole scouting department who talk for months on end about finding the right guys that fit the culture, the best skill set. And this is what you give me, 5 of the same players. No. Like Joey just said, this is a crapshoot right now. Like, the fact we have a roster that needs to be trimmed, we have cap space that has to be spent more because we have to cut some guys from this roster. And this is all going to happen with 2 weeks to go before Media Day, which should be a circus if they give Cam Thomas a mic in his hand. Like, this is not what you want going into an unknown season. You want a roster that at least you know, hey, could these guys work out or not? That's what you want to know. And we don't even know that. The problem with this organization is a lack of clarity for months and years on end. Every time we think we're at a point where we need clarity on something, another mystery presents itself. I just hate this game, man, because it's so stupid. Half of these guys might not even be here by the end of next year. Like, seriously, that's the mode we're in right now. I literally said this on a Spaces page, guys. We went back in a time machine to 2016. The only difference is we have 5 rookies on the team this time around. That's the difference.
Yeah, so coming in and going into training camp, the guys with the big contracts most likely will be on the team. The guys with the little contracts, that's where it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. My guy, like you said, Tyrese, I don't know if Tyrese gonna make it back. Drew Timmy, I don't know if Timmy gonna make it back. I don't know if teams have interest in Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Keon, I don't know if Keon gonna make it back because you got Trayor and you got Saraf and you got Yegor, and Yegor may not, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You got Cam Thompson, you got Terrence Mann. So where, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does he go? Jalen Wilson on the wing? You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's confusing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the draft with the drafting players that can pass and do multiple things. But now you trying to build a roster or trying to get it together, and you got guys here, like Joey said, like, you don't even know what to do with at this point. You know what I'm saying? You ran Tyrese that point to see if he could do anything other than shoot. He could a little bit. Jalen Wilson can't really. He creates a little bit, but can't create too much for himself. You know what I mean? Downhill, try to get downhill or shoot the 3. Then Timmy is a undersized 5 who could maybe play the 4 at times, shoot a little bit of 3s, but he can score on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, bro. And I ain't even talking about the dudes that ain't got no, like Fambo, Fambo 6'11" forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't give him the 2-way yet. And Grant Nelson, invite, 6'11" forward, can't shoot the 3 well, but he a hustle guy. And then who else do they got? I just said his name from let me put the other thing back up. Ricky Council. You know what I mean?
We're doing
like,
him.
bro, like, what are you going to do with these dudes, bro?
This is the Sean Marks crapshoot, folks. What?
Yeah, because you let Iwoma go, and then you signed Liddell, EJ. Like, I didn't even think Liddell was going to get a 2-way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got a 2-way immediately, and I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So you got 1 2-way contract open. Famo, Grant Nelson, and I just said his name.
Ricky
Yeah. Yeah, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? What are we going to do with all these guys, bro? Like, these is a lot of guys, like 20-something guys again. I think they had 20-something guys last time. And you got 20-something guys again, and you know what I mean? Like, bro.
Man, Thank gosh Jordy doesn't have hair to rip out because anybody's position would be feeling like, yikes, I just want to train the kids. I don't want to deal with roster cuts, who I should bench, who wants to sign you, who doesn't want to sign you. Like, this is a crapshoot already. Like, this should not have been as crazy of a mess this year in a rebuild situation. Under the Sean Marks regime, this is what you should expect. You should expect confusion. You should expect drama. Like, no, you shouldn't. But like you said, Ice, there's so many who's and ifs and what's is going to happen. I think Keon Johnson might stay just because Jordy likes the defensive grit he brings. I think Drew Timmy sadly's on the bubble just because he's under like what, a second or two-way or something like that or like that. So yeah, he's way more expendable. I think Keon's going to stay again by the skin of his teeth just because of what he gives you defensively, and also Saraf, some of the rookies are going to get sent to the G League. So even some guys who aren't supposed to be here long term, they might be here just because he's going to send some of these guys down to the G League. So, yeah, there'll be a guy or two here that stays on the roster just because the young guys need time in the G League. Meanwhile, the other guy just going to get asked out. And I think Whitehead, he really has to come into training camp healthy from the jump, or else he's easily disposable as well as you approach the deadline later on this year. So, yeah, this is just it is a mess to figure out. It really is. And I wish the rookies didn't have to deal with all this around them, but we'll be interested to see what their mental strength is, because they might say hi to a teammate they might not have in a few weeks or months. Like, this is just a calamity of a crap show right now.
Yeah, so with that being said, John, because that team bonded Michael Porter had to do, like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, you bonding with who? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the guys might not even be there after training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's messed up. You got me bonding with guys that won't even be here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy work.
I can't believe he wants to create a Brooklyn anthem. I'm like, yo, Breezy J, this guy's trying to infringe on your territory. You guys gotta show him what's up. Nah, but like, I understand, man. Like, you know, team bonding, stuff like that, it's important when you're a young core. But this is why the draft is such a crap show, because you hope you were drafting different pieces that are going to balance out your roster. And they have just 5 of the same guys, and a good quarter of them are not even going to be here on the team as far as playing main minutes. They would mean the G League. It's like so frustrating. And then you have these vets. I think the reason why Bobby Marks put Terrence Mann and Cam Thomas as a backcourt, because Jordy likes to play the vets a lot. He doesn't like to give the young guys minutes unless they earn it. But no, each and every one of the guys you drafted this year, they got to play in the main minutes in this NBA. You can't wait till the end of the season, just throw them in for the last 10 games and let them get demolished. No, each and every one of them has to see minutes throughout this season. But like you said, Ice, Jordy has a real circus balancing act. You got to figure out how to boost the value of some of your vets, Terrence Mann, Claxton, MPJ. You got to figure out how to get your young guys involved. And Cam Thomas involved, what minutes is he going to play to start, or if he's going to be benched? Like, this is just a crap show for Jordy to figure out. But Jordy said he was the one that could turn anybody into something decent. So we'll be interested to see if Jordy is a man of his word and what team will exist by the end of this year. All I have to say is thank gosh we have a lottery pick next year, or else I wouldn't know where the hell this team is going as far as a realistic outlook on what this core could be.
Is there a player that y'all want back on this team this year that potentially might not be here? Like, you know, y'all know my guy Tyrese Martin. I would like Tyrese, you know what I'm saying, to come back and play the season. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all have a guy that y'all want back on the team?
Yeah, you know what I want? Tucson from Walmart. I want that guy back, man. I saw him at Walmart the other day. He looks sad. He looks depressed. He wishes he was playing minutes right now. I want that guy back. No. It's tough, Ice, because it's tough because you want to invest in certain players, and the problem is all these guys most of them are making, you know, $1 to $3, $4 million. So it's like their time in the NBA could be cut short just like that, or they could be waived. So it's tough to figure out a guy to invest in. I mean, Haywood Highsmith, I like to bring him back just because defensively he brings you that true grit that you need from Miami Heat culture, stuff like that. And his defensive skill set is really in your face, which I think would really help the young guys as far as their defensive evolution goes. But I also know he has value for contenders. I know there's a high chance we're flipping him at next year's deadline for more seconds. But let's say that Haywood is an unrestricted free agent next year and no other teams want to bring him back. I'd be fine bringing him back on like a cheap, maybe 1 to 2 year deal, around 8 to 10 mil, something like that, to be a good vet for these young guys. is probably somebody I would be interested just because he gives you the defensive principles Jordy wants these young guys to embody on a night in, night out basis. Other than that, there isn't really too many guys that are making minimum money that I think would be with us long term. But that's my answer on that.
All right, Hi Smith. What you got, Joey and Easy? Is there a guy that y'all want back that may not be here?
I like Tyrese too. I ain't gonna lie. I like Tyrese too. But if anything, I really like that. I know it's all the way left field, but that proposition about Andre Drummond being able to come on this team, I really like that right there. A big inside presence that could rebound and could finish plays and stuff like that. I really like that right there. I think that'd be good development for the team. But no, I really like Tyrese. So I like a shooter. We don't got too much shooting on the team, so like I don't like the idea of getting rid of, even though he a low tier shooter, real low tier shooter, but still shooting though. You ain't got that now. Unless you about to tell me Diego about to pop out and fucking he about to light it up from three, like 41% from three on like 7 makes on 7 attempts. Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right. But I mean, ain't too much to look forward to. I gotta first know who they come, but it ain't too much to look forward to on the team. Like, yeah.
Slim pickings.
Yeah, it's real slim pickings. It's real slim pickings. I even heard something about Keon Johnson being away from this team. Keon Johnson. So I'm like,
I don't see that happening right now just because if he's a point guard, he could be an emergency third guy for us. I just think Drew Timmy's problem is he's a forward. He gave you some offense, but we let that guy take too many shots. You could just see why he's an expendable piece. So I think they're going to choose to keep Keon over Timmy just because of the point guard situation. The fact that Ben Seraph, Powell, some of these guards are going to probably play time in the G League to start out. So I think that's what Keon has is he should count himself lucky that we drafted so many guys. Because I bet you this, if we didn't draft all guards easy, Keon Johnson would be one of the first guys off this team. I really do think that. We didn't draft 5 playmakers.
What do you think about Keon that he might be out?
He's just on a minimum salary deal. He was trying to stay in the league by coming to us. He showed you some things defensively, but he's an inefficient scorer. Like I know the efficiency numbers were better to end this season than to start and middle, but just overall, he's just not a guy that's a lock steady knockdown shooter. And defensively, he gives you some good efforts, but he doesn't even use his athletic ability to his advantage most of the time. I know everybody talks about the vertical, but we rarely ever see him use that other than maybe a dunk here, a dunk there. Like I feel like his skill set could be viable if he actually used it more often than he does. But yeah, I just don't think the timeline it works in his favor with us as far as being a long-term asset. And if we're being honest, if he was on a legit championship team, he'd be a third stringer right now. So he's got himself lucky that he's on a team that's as bad as we are, starting from pure scratch, where he could play those minutes just because our young guys need time to develop. But if we're getting serious, like if we got Darren Peterson next year, Keon wouldn't be on his team by the summer.
I like
Wow.
Keon, man. I think the guy that wanted us to really sign, we already signed, is Zaire. But if I had to pick somebody else, I would say Keon. I just like his I like his attitude to the game. Like he plays hard, and some people don't like him, but he you just tell he's not scared of nobody out there. And I think the more confidence he gains, and the better he get, the more confidence he gains. He's going to be good for us, yo. He may not be a star. I don't see him, but he can be a good end of the bench type of guy. You know what I mean? I'm just a fan of Keon. I know not too many people like him, but I rock with boy.
You make it easy to like the guy, though, Joey. I'll give you that. You make it easy to like the guy, but I just look at it logistically. But I get why you look at it from that lens because he does give you defensive grit. It's just we got to think long term too. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's here for another year, just because we need certain veteran pieces to help the young guys progress their styles forward. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's here. But if we're being logistic and we did get like a Jeremiah Fears this year or got a Darren the following year, like he's just no room for him to be one of those
I agree
guys
with you.
unless he's finding a third
I think
stringer.
based off of the Nets landscape, he's kind of he's almost that odd man out. One of the odd men out. I feel you. I mean, shit, we got a log jam in the backcourt. We got a lot of guards. like I said, we just drafted like 4. So, and then you got Keon. You still got to deal with Cam, Terrence Mann. So I get it. You know what I mean? From a landscape perspective, he's not the top, one of the top names to look for. But based
Right.
for what he brings, I like his game a little bit.
No, I agree with you. And he has value over guys like Whitehead and Wilson. If we put him next to those two, he clears them both just because Whitehead lost his athletic ability with the injuries and Wilson has no athletic ability in his body. And defensively, he was eh. So I would say that even Keon has a chance to remain here as far as one of our back end bench pieces if we did keep him over those two guys. So he does have a case because defensively he's better than both of them. And he showed that he gained more trust from Jordy in the system as opposed to those two, where one was injured most of the season and the other had opportunities, but he kind of dropped the ball. Whereas Keon, he had a better finish than he had a better start. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Keon has over those two guys.
Yeah, no, because it's tough, bro. Yegor, Nolan, Terrence Mann, Cam Thomas, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, then Keon, Ben Saraf, that's six guards, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then Drake can play two. So that's seven guards,
Ooh.
bro. That's 7 guards. And Tyrese could play 2. He's more like a 3. Jalen Wilson's a 3.
Hey,
You know what I mean? Like, bro, 7 guards is tough. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I think Keon might not come back is because it's too much. But then he does have a chance because he is a defensive. You know what I'm saying? He is a defensive minded player. You know what I'm saying? And he's athletic. And I know, yeah, Jordy likes him playing, you know what I'm saying, point of attack defense. For us, but bro, that's so tough. I think fucking Tyrese Martin might have a better chance at the wing, even though, you know what I'm saying? We got because it's Jalen Wilson, Tyrese Martin, then you got I put Drake over there too sometimes. Zaire, High Smith, and that's about it, right? For the wings. That's
yeah.
about it for the wings. So I give him a chance. I give Tyrese a chance. And Timmy, I don't think Timmy will come back because you got Wolf, Dayron, and Clax. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he might make it back.
You know, it's so crazy, Ice. We had a lot of wings the last 2 years. Now we have too many guards and not enough wings. Like, this is the roster imbalance I keep talking about. Like, Sean Marks wants so much of one area of basketball skill set, and then he's missing out on all the other areas. Like, literally, you got to give some attention to the center position, give attention to the forward position, give attention to all the positions if you ever want to have a balanced team. So, yeah, definitely as far as our draft goals next year, you hope to get one of those top wings. I mean, we got AJ DeBosta, Kambuza, Tunde Yasafu, who I think not a lot of people are paying attention to, Ice, but they will if he really does show out like we think he can. Like, there are a lot of good wings in next year's draft. And for the Nets, we definitely need a solid wing in that draft if we do draft in the high bracket. Because I like Darren Peterson, but we have so many guards, just like Ice said, and who knows if we even have the second or first pick that we would choose Peterson. We might choose the Bonsa or Boozer, which I would go for because we definitely need an all-star franchise wing because our current crop of wings, it's just awful. I mean, MPJ, enough said about that because I like what MPG could give you as far as scoring goes as a third option, but being a primary option, it's just not good. Like, we definitely need a franchise wing in next year's draft if we do get a top 3 pick.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's tough. That's why I say I'm lost. Like, you know what I'm saying? How to make this roster work. I know I agree with Joey. Like, they probably lost too. They didn't put themselves in a position they don't know what to choose, who to choose, and why to choose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't when I sit here and look at this and I'm trying to put something together and I can't, then I know it's a mess. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even put pieces together. I might say, yeah, we might bring back Tyrese, and they might not bring back Tyrese. You know what I'm saying? I forgot Derek was on there too. Like, Derek, yeah, I don't know if Derek is going to be on a regular. Well, he got to be on a regular roster, even though he want to be in a G. I don't know if he's going to want to come up this year and showcase. That's another question too. You know what I mean? Because he is on a roster. And then Timmy, like, they could bring back Timmy, and I could be all wrong too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you still got Fanbo and them trying to make the roster as well. Like, I would like to see Fanbo make the roster because he's 6'11". And he got skills. He's athletic. He's something that we do not have on this team at all. You know what I mean? So that would be something different than what we have. But what we have is tough, man. It's tough. With this Brooklyn Nets management team, bro.
Ice, they gotta
Crazy.
promote you. I mean, you're Ice, the scout mode.
Right?
Gotta promote you, man. You do your research every day, man. I see you posting the videos about this stuff, and it's crazy because all the guys you said we should get, not one time did they want to draft any of those guys that you wanted at the certain positions, which is astounding to me. How's the guy's not even working for your team knows who to draft at the spots that you're supposed to draft at? Like, it's crazy. But this is the problem. The long term solution here, Ice. You fire the GM and Joe Tsai sells the team. I look at Tsai and Marks. I don't see a basketball IQ where it's like they know how to build an actual team. They have ideas and concepts, but when it comes to a vision direction, for the last 10 years, there's been no direction whatsoever. It's like now we're in year 10. This is a new decade. This is their official start of their second decade at the helm. And it's like we can't wait another 10 years for them to make the same screw mistakes and then say 10 years later, oh, we still have the flexibility. We have 7 picks in the draft and we still botched them. No. The next year's draft is make or break for the Nets next 5 or 6 years getting their franchise guy. You couldn't do it this year. Now you have to hope you can actually do it right this year, because if you don't get that guy next year, we are literally in an avalanche of a mess that I don't think the Brooklyn faithful can recover from. And I feel bad that Brooklyn fans don't even want to support this team right now because their guy Cam Thomas is not a long-term partner. Certain guys that they wanted here are no longer here. It's unfortunate, but this is what happens. We have a front office that doesn't read the NBA room, that thinks that they know everything more than we do. But it's like we know how to actually build a team more than they do, which is crazy. But we actually use our eye test. We look at how a roster should function by looking at teams like OKC and the Pacers, and it's like you can't just put pieces that don't fit in a puzzle at certain spots in the court and hope that they magically do what they do. No, it starts with talent, it starts with culture, and it starts with having a good front office that knows what the hell they're doing. We really are missing those main fundamentals. So if this year doesn't go well as far as tanking aspirations, as far as these young guys developing, and you get a top pick next year, it's really going to be hard to see where we can go much more. Because like you said, Ice, if you can't make sense of a crazy-ass roster that's in a rebuild setting, how can we make sense of this team if they're contending again? Like, we cannot have a situation where we throw all the assets at another star and they leave in a year and a half later. It just cannot happen. So if Sean and Joe can have a come-together moment where they just realize, hey, maybe we're the problem, maybe this team can start moving forward in the right direction. But if Marks' contract is up this year, get somebody new. Make AC Law, make a Scout Mo, make him the new GM, and let's run this show the right way for once. Like, because enough's enough.
You know what's funny about that, John? The people that I wanted on this team, the teams that drafted them are very happy with their players. That's what makes this shit so funny, though. You know what I'm saying? They said like I said, the Kings thought they won the draft with Raynard and Neat Clifford. They really thought you know what I'm saying? They got the best players possible. I'm like that don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the fans think they want to draft how they played during summer league and everything, but just to see your draft picks go out there and do something gave them some type of hope, like we picked the right guys. Like us, I know we got to wait on our guys, you know what I'm saying? They're a little bit behind, but as far as, you know what I'm saying, me, like you said, scouting the draft and pointing out players that, you know what I'm saying, might fit the team and yada, yada, yada. When the other teams draft these guys, they got these guys on the showcase mode, talk about mode, you know what I mean? They got these guys everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're supposed to feel like. I know they got Jaeger everywhere, but that's all the Nets talk about. You know what I'm saying? As far as Nets Twitter is always about Jaeger. You know what I mean?
All right. And you know what's crazy? It's like when they showed video of the Suns where they were drafting, like the video room where they were at, they were actually laughing at the fact that we didn't get Common Mallywalk, and he just happened to land on their laps, which was crazy. But you look at the Kings, an organization that is poorly run. I think they are the Western version of the Brooklyn Nets, but organizations don't know what the hell they're doing. They somehow got Maxime Reynard and Nick Clifford, two guys that we wanted at the top of the middle end of the draft, which we could have got, but we don't want those guys. And I think Clifford did well summer league. The crazy thing is, like, we were trying to make sense of why did they draft all these guys. I know we joked a bit about the Brooklyn League of Nations, a Euro theme. Jordy's a Euro coach. Sean and Joe are Euro guys. Maybe we're trying to create a Euro theme of sorts that will make a Giannis or Joker want to come here in 2 years. Well, if I want them not free agents, this was real waste of time. But it's like, what can you make sense of a crazy situation? I know we're trying to create a Euro theme. I know we want fast-paced offense. I know we want to kind of copy OKC the paces with the AC Law move, but it's like you can try to copy a team all you want. If you don't have the pieces, it's never going to work. So I hope these young rookies could show mental strength this year and work on the weaknesses. That's what we can hope for. Mental strength and working on weaknesses. But it's like next year's draft really is your make or break moment, because if you just move forward trying to trade for a big star again with all these assets you accumulated and it doesn't work out, it's like we're just doing the same freaking cycle. Sean and Joe fill up their pockets, and the Brooklyn base, like us content creators, have to explain this horrible mess. Like, I'm done explaining Sean and Joe's horrible moves. At the end of the day, it's a miracle both of them have employment at their positions, because quite frankly, both of them don't understand the long-term outlook of how to win, because they always look at the short-sighted wins. Oh, get 3 stars, it's going to work. Oh, get Bridges, he's going to recruit a guy to come here. Like, it doesn't work with those short-sighted moves. Like, you actually have to have a vision of where you hope this team is going to be. And I think the problem, Ice, we don't have our own identity. I don't know if you guys saw CJ Holmes look for people to write their responses on what they think is the Brooklyn temperature check with what's going on. I said the problem is we don't have a distinct identity. The Brooklyn culture, the identity should be we are a team that is relentless on defense and we have an opposing offense. Like that's what the Nets should be built upon, but it's like we don't even have those ideals with this team construction right now. I hope the young guys could work on their craft and be good guys, but it's like we need our own identity. We got to stop trying to copy everybody. Like Brooklyn grit, Brooklyn culture should mean something. And I feel like the problem is under Sean and Joe, it's now a company policy as opposed to an ideal. And that's really got to change if we ever hope to be a serious team at all.
Yeah, facts. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the show, but I'm gonna say, y'all, I'm getting ready to start the 2026 draft. Talk about players, covering it a little bit. I might cover some college basketball. I'm not sure. Maybe the guys that's being drafted, I might cover their team a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm not I watch college for the draft, but I might get into it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? For guys who watch the college basketball, have some guys come up and talk about it. Because I know Joe be watching St. John's, you know what I mean? And St. John's got one of the players that might be in the draft this year. You know what I mean? So that's what I might do. Y'all got any last words before we close out?
Yeah, good luck,
good,
Brooklyn
bro.
Nets fans. Good luck, Brooklyn Nets fans. That's the final word.
You know what I mean? All right, y'all know my motto. Y'all don't have to like, y'all don't have to subscribe, because I don't know anything. You heard? And we out.
Peace.